Hello YouTube, it's your boy Casual Auto, and I'm just here to I just wanted to share this PSP that I found on eBay recently. I'm not like a crazy video game collector or like super eBay. No. I just been recently jumping into the uh eBay just to see if I could find some stuff when I'm finding it. I've been using Amazon for a real long time, and stuff on Amazon seems to be like going up in price lately. But eBay, there's a lot of good prices on there, and I found this on there. I've been in the market for a PSP, and it's actually really hard to find one in my area. Like every store that I go to. Doesn't have one, or the one that they have is broken and they can't sell it. I went to two stores that had a PSP that was just broken and they couldn't sell it. So like it was in their system, and when you'd go to actually buy it, they said that it was broken, and so they wouldn't even sell it to you. And so I actually went on to eBay to find one. Now, luckily, I think the day before I ordered this, my local store said they had one on reserve, and there was a guy, and he had one more day to come get it. And he said, call back the next day, and we'll see if it's still here, we'll sell it to you. I called back the next day. They said they didn't have it anymore, so I guess the guy came and bought it. But luckily for me, they did that, and so I went on and bought this one, and I seen it on there. And I was like, okay, it comes in the box. And I always say, if it comes in the box, then it's probably in good condition. Because if the person saves the box and didn't throw in the garbage, then they probably took care of the PSP. Like, for some reason, some people, I do the same thing. I save the box. For some reason, I don't really know. I don't resell things, but this person did. And the only thing that I saw on the box that was wrong was this. And they pointed that out in the description. And I don't care. I'm not like a video game box collector, so it doesn't have to be pristine. But this box is like a hardcore box. Like it's thick, and like they shipped it in this, and I don't know. They shipped it in a bunch of bubble wrap, and it showed up perfectly. This is exactly what it showed like in the picture. The only thing, like, it was a buy it now for $100, and the reason why I assume people didn't buy it is because the pictures in the listing weren't very good. Like the camera didn't have very good pictures, and like there was some kind of glare on the picture of the PSP itself that looked like it, like the red light on the camera or something glared off of the buttons, and it actually made it look like there was paint or something on the buttons. And I actually ordered it thinking that there was going to be some kind of paint or stain on the buttons, because that's what it looked like in the picture. And no matter how much I zoomed in on the picture, I could not tell what that was. So I assumed it had some red paint here and there on the actual PSP inside. And to my surprise, it actually is a PSP in perfect condition. And that's why I'm assuming why other people didn't buy it. I just bit the bullet and bought it because I said, hey, I've been looking for a PSP and I'm having a hard time finding one that looks good. This one looked decent, and I said I'd get it. So let me unbox this. Let me open it. I've already opened this. I'm just trying to share my little tale of how much trouble I've had lately buying a PSP. I have a PSP Go, and I said I need to get a real PSP. This is hurting my hands. A long time ago, I traded in my PSP 2000 for a PSP Go, and I love the PSP Go so much, but wow, like I've missed the original PSP style and the way it feels in your hands. It feels so good. I love you, PSP Go, but the original PSP, it's just, look at it. It feels so good in comparison. The buttons feel real good in your hands. Look at this packaging. Like, this came with this padding. In the picture, the PSP itself had a screen protector on it, so I thought, okay, that's probably gonna it shows that the PSP screen, it shows that the screen is not going to be too bad. It looks scuffed up on the screen protector, but it was like scratched up on the screen protector, and I was like, well, if that person put that on there when they just got it, that screen under it is probably going to look really good. So I just bit the bullet. I was having trouble finding one. Like, so this one right here still comes with the paperwork, and it doesn't come in the listing. It showed that they didn't have the AC adapter anymore. You know, some people just lose that. And strangely enough, I had a PSP 1000 that I bought at launch, and it got stolen from my house when we were moving. Like we had some movers or something, and one of them stole it, or somebody came and stole it, or something like that. But it did come with this car charger, which is cool. I don't know if I'll use that, but I might bring it with, put it in the car or something like that. Came with the original memory card, the Sony memory card, 4 gigs, and it came with most importantly, it came with the battery. Like I have bought another PSP off of eBay, and the person who listed that PSP that I bought previously, it was a busted up looking PSP, but that's kind of why I bought it, because it looked cool. It was a bronze styled one, and it just looked really cool, all scuffed up the way it did. And I didn't think it was going to come with a memory card or a battery, but the seller put a battery in and a memory card, so that was cool. But the battery was a Chinese like off-brand battery, and it died after like using it for a few days. And I looked that up, and it looked like other people have been having the same problems when they buy that Chinese battery on Amazon. And they say that it'll die, and there's different ways to bring it back to life. But I just didn't feel like doing that. This one still comes with the original battery, the Sony branded one, and everything. So it comes with this. It's got the step 1, insert the battery pack. Step 2, charge it with your PSP 1000 charger you still have. Insert your memory stick duo, and insert the UMD. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get an original PSP, because the Go, and I just was like kind of fascinated. I'm like kind of fascinated with different formats that media comes on. You know, like it's got, you know, like the HD DVD. I still have some of those, and just that a company came out with a handheld, and it came on a disc. Like there's just a disc in there, and this console has a laser and everything. It just blows my mind, especially where we're at now. Like, you know, they wanted you to carry around a library of movies on these UMDs and games on UMDs, and now everything is just, you just put it on these 256 gig little tiny micro SD cards. Yeah, I mean, I love that it comes with the paperwork for some reason. I don't know what it is about this. Like, I am not a collector. This is not something that I'm like, I'm going to get this and it's going to be worth more because it's got the paperwork. I just love that it comes with the paperwork. I don't know why that is. Like, it just makes it feel more like you bought it new. Like, it's the closest that you can get. And this PSP was actually manufactured in 2009, it says on the sticker on the back. But here, let me get the PSP itself out. Ooh. So, like, the screen protector left a little bit of weird. That looks like what the screen protector did. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that is something that happened because the screen protector was on there for 9 years, and some weirdness happened, and it wasn't on there perfectly on the screen. It was kind of like lifted, so there was air able to get into these surrounding kind of areas, and this might have been the only place where it was actually locked down on, so maybe some stuff was able to get in there. But the screen itself is not like scratched up or anything. It actually looks really good, and the console itself looked like perfect to me. So much so that I had to start Googling like how easy is it for people to put a replacement PSP shell on a PSP, and I looked it up, and it didn't look like it was too easy. And it looked like, so you have to open the battery compartment and take the screws out. And this one right here, I checked it, and the battery compartment under there's a sticker that it's kind of like an anti-tamper, like to, you know, void warranty if you are going to take it apart and you have to break through that seal to do it. And it was still intact. Everything was still perfect. Everything is perfect under there. Like the UMD drive, everything just looked pristine in this thing. I don't know, it just looks really nice. And I said the person who had this must have just barely used it. It came with like a few Star Wars movies, and it came with a theme, a baseball theme, and that was it. No games or anything on it. It wasn't modded, so that was like another thing that I was like, has this been just been sitting there? Like, if somebody had been using it recently, they would have modded this thing, and if it was used by like a person who games a lot, I'm sure they would have done that at some point. It's been modded now, like to put some extra games on it. It was on an older firmware. Yeah, I can't remember what firmware it was on, but it was on an old firmware. Yeah, look at this. It looks good. Like I had to look it up and make sure. Like, did I just get gypped? Like, I know I saw one on eBay and it looked perfect. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like, that thing looks just absolutely incredible. And I was gonna go looking in the description. I always read the description, and it said that it was a replacement shell and a replacement screen. So I'm like, no. People are like buying broke PSPs, really junky PSPs, and then just replacing the parts and probably selling them for way more. Which is a good idea, as long as you put that in the description. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted an original PSP. All the buttons worked just fine. This is my first PSP 3000. I've never had a 3000. I've only had up to the 2000, of 1000, 2000, then a Go. But the screen works perfectly. Got Dave Mirror going on here. Oh boy. Yeah, I love... I've been playing this on the PSP Go, and the buttons hurt my hands. That's for dang sure. That's one of the things that I was like, wow, these buttons are so good in comparison to the PSP Go. I just like how good it feels to push the buttons and how big they are. I've been playing like NASCAR and all this stuff on here, like some weird old PS1 games that I like playing. Let me quit the game. I think there's only one other thing that's wrong that I see with the screen, and it's that. I don't know if you can see that. There's little dark spots there. And that line right there, that is the end of the screen protector. And I tried wiping off some of that, and I didn't want to go too hard on it. So that's just what's left of the line. That was how off the screen protector was. It wasn't perfectly aligned. There's a little line there. And those little blotches that you can't really see in gameplay. And you got to look really hard to see them sometimes. But I do see them. You can see them when you tilt it. There's some more there. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if y'all know if that's something that's normal on a PSP. I really don't remember ever seeing that. I know that the PSP 3000 has like a really nice colorful screen. It's got like something set by default, some kind of like color setting or something like that. Sounds, what the hell? Yeah, some kind of like color setting that I think some people don't like, but I think the screen, everybody says it's kind of like interlacing thing. I think I've noticed what they're talking about. Where like I think the 1000 had a really bad ghosting problem. I remember I used to watch Spider-Man on there, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. But the ghosting on it was just like, whoa, boy. Like, I don't even think I knew what ghosting was back then, but I just knew that there was something weird happening when you watched like a lot of movement and stuff like that on those screens. And I watched a little bit of Godzilla on this thing, and it looks really good. This screen is really nice. I have no idea where that setting is. Really have no clue. There's some, oh, there it is, color space. Like, it says normal color space, and I'm assuming this is what like the 2000 kind of looks like. And then when you put it on wide, it's just all the colors are really deep, and like some people, they don't like it because it looks unnatural to them. Like everything is just really like just hardcore. If it's purple, yeah, it's like that. It's like hardcore purple. If it's red, it's super duper red. And I remember seeing that whenever the Sony first announced this console, and like there was like a picture of some fruit or something like that, and it looked incredible compared to the 2000. But I guess the interlacing thing is people they don't, it's kind of like they don't like that. I'm fine with it. But anyway, it works perfectly fine. And it's a console that's almost 10 years old now, manufactured in 2009. I'm not sure. I need to look that up when they stopped manufacturing these. I've actually ordered a PSP E1000 Street, and I'll put a video up of that whenever I get it, from Russia. It's been on the way for like 2 weeks, and it still looks like it's got like a month left to go before it gets here. But when it gets here, and if it's in good condition, I'll make a video about it, because I'm just kind of fascinated by that console because they never bring it here. And I remember when they announced it, I was like, why did they announce another PSP? That seems kind of dumb, because I think the Vita was already, I think everything was just moving on, and they're like, here's this new PSP, the E1000 Street, and it's not even coming out in North America. So I don't know all who got it, but I have seen videos of it, and it looks weird, and some people say that the screen is kind of like the best of, it's better than the 3000 screen in ways and not better in other ways. So it's got like all these like things. It's got like doesn't have stereo speaker, it has mono speakers, but you can have stereo with your headphones. So it's got like all these like trade-offs, and so maybe a lot of people didn't buy them, but I got one. It's not in the box, so it's just going to be a loose console, but I'm excited to get it and just try it out. And I also have one coming from Japan, another 3000 in a box, and I'll maybe show that and compare it to this one, maybe the screens, to see if that one has the same kind of screen issues that this one does, where not issues really, just the weird blotches under there that you can see, and that would probably throw some people off. Like if they were to put that in the description, I wonder if people would even buy it if they saw those blotches there, you know. So anyway, I will share that video of the E1000 Street and the PSP 3000 from Japan that I'm gonna get really soon. So just look out for that if you want to see it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.